In this video, we'll see how to multiply and divide with fractions. So when I multiply fractions, I want to change the mixed numbers to impropers, cross-reduce and multiply straight across. That means numerator times numerator and denominator times denominator. And then I'll rename and simplify if it's necessary. So 6 and 4/7 times negative 4 and a fifth. I'm going to change these both to improper fractions. 7 times 6 is 42, plus 4, that's 46. Keep the denominator the same, 46 over 7. And then 5 times 4 is 20, plus 1, that's 21. Keep that denominator, 21 over 5. And then remember, this is going to be a negative 21 fifths because I have a negative mixed number here. And then I multiply. I want to cross-reduce, so I'll make my multiplication easier. 7 goes into 7 one time, and it's going to go into negative 21 negative 3 times. Now I'll just multiply straight across. 46 times negative 3 is negative 138 over 5. And you can leave your answer like this, or you can change it to a mixed number. And I know 5 will go into 138. It'll go in 27 times because 5 goes into 120 times, and it goes into 38 7 times. So it's going to go in a total of 27 times with 3/5 left over, and that's going to be a negative. Next, I want to multiply, and here I have some variables in the fractions, but that's okay. I'm going to still go through the same process. So I'm going to look here, they're not improper. I'm going to look to, they're not mixed numbers, so I'm going to look to cross-reduce. So I'm going to say 3 goes into 9 3 times, and it goes into 6 twice. I multiply straight across. 4x times 2x. Well, 4 times 2 is 8, and x times x is x squared. And then 3 times 11 is 33. So my product is 8x squared over 33. Now when I divide fractions, it's very similar. I'm going to change the mixed numbers to improper fractions. I'm going to keep the first fraction the same and then change the division to multiplication and flip the second fraction. That's where things get different. Remember, we keep, we change, and we flip. Then we'll cross-reduce and multiply straight across, just like in multiplication, and rename and simplify if necessary. But remember, we cannot cross-reduce until after we keep and we change and we flip. So I've got negative 10 and 2/3 divided by negative 3 and 5/9. Just notice we got a negative divided by a negative, so my answer is going to be positive. I'm going to change these to impropers. 3 times 10 is 30. 30 plus 2 is 32. So I get negative 32 over 3 divided by 9 times 3 is 27. 27 plus 5 is, again, also a negative 32 over 9. I'm going to keep and change and flip. So I'm going to get negative 32 thirds times 9 over 32. And again, that's negative. And now I can cross-reduce. 32 goes into 32 once. 3 goes into 3 once. 3 goes into 9 3 times. I end up with a negative 1 times a negative 3 is a positive 3. And 1 times 1 is just 1. So my final answer is 3. In this next example, I am going to keep and change and flip first here, since these are not mixed numbers. I have negative 2y over 5 times 5 over 9y to the third, and this is negative. I am going to cross-reduce. 5 goes into 5 once. 2 doesn't divide into 9, but we can reduce with these y's here. So remember, this is like y to the first. And if I reduce here, y to the first goes into y to the first one time. And then y to the first, if I reduce that here, right, remember I'm going to subtract my exponent, so this becomes y to the second. To try to understand that a little bit more, just see what happens when these are both on top of each other. Y to the first over y to the third, y, right? If I reduce these, I just end up with 1 over y squared. That's why this becomes 9y to the second power. And then I'm just going to multiply straight across. Negative 2 times negative 1 is positive 2. 1 times 9y squared is just 9y squared. All right, here are some problems for you to practice on your own. I'm going to take a negative 2 and 3/5 times 10/11. So first change this to an improper fraction. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 3 is 13. So I get negative 13 over 5 times 10/11. Cross reduce. 5 goes into 5 once, goes into 10 twice. Can't cross reduce here. So I'm going to multiply straight across. Negative 13 times 2 is negative 26. 1 times 11 is just 11. And this next example, dividing here, but first I want to change these mixed numbers to improper fractions. 7 times 11 is 77 plus 4 gives me 81 over 7. 2 times 10 is 20 plus 1 is 21. So I get 21 over 2. That's a negative. I'm dividing here. I'm going to keep and change and flip. So I get 81 over 7 times 2 over 21. Now I know 3 goes into 81 and 21. 3 goes into 81. It's going to go in 27 times. And 3 goes into 21 7 times. When I multiply straight across, 27 times 2 is 54. 7 times 7 is 49. Finally, these last two, I am going to cross reduce if I can. So I can see I can cross reduce this 4 and this 18. 2 goes into 4 2 times, and 2 will go into 18 9 times. So I get 11 times 9 is 99. 2z times 4z, 2 times 4 is 8, and z times z, z squared. And finally, to divide, I'm going to keep and change and flip. So I get 7 over 3b to the 4th times 9b to the 3rd over 21. Cross reduce. 7 goes into 7 once, goes into 21 3 times. 3 goes into 3 once, goes into 9 3 times. To understand what happens with b to the 3rd and b to the 4th, just remember b to the 3rd means b over b to the 4th. b is a factor 4 times. And if I cross reduce, if I just reduce here, I'm left with just a b here in the denominator. So b to the 3rd is going to cancel out, and then this to the 4th power is going to cancel out. It's just going to be b to the 1st power. And when I multiply, I end up with 1 times 3 is 3, and then 1b times 3 is going to give me 3b. Now this could be reduced even more, right? I can just divide out the 3 and the 3, and I'm left with 1 over b.